Ro.creating. Welcome. Today I'm building a built-in MITRE station with integrated vacuum, dust separation and some practical storage to boot. It's a nice looking thing there. Now it won't have a big piece of cardboard on it at the end. Just doing a little mock-up there. But it's a nice looking thing. So I suppose that's where you start. The air. How are you going to get the air from part A to part B, from the saw to the vacuum unit? So I went down to my plumber's yard. I got loads of 2-inch connectors, couplings, sweeping T's, elbows, everything, all nice and sweepy. Now the reason I chose 50mm is because that's the size of the port on my dust separator, which is that funny looking thing on the right hand side. Basically what happens there is the dust comes in, sweeps around like a little tornado, and all the dust supposedly falls out the bottom. So I got 2 sweeping T's. I thought 2 ports here for the saw would be a good idea. Got my pipe, took a few measurements, got some plastic weld, just sort of stuck them all together. Now that's an inspection port at the end. I decided I'd put that on just in case it starts getting blocked. I'll be able to unscrew that, there it is, and unclog it. So find out where my centers are for that. Get my hole saw, take out a few holes. Right, so once those holes are taken out, just make sure everything lines up, and now you have to get the air from the saw all along the back wall. So literally track it across, put it in behind the bulk bench, in behind the small bench, sort of anything that gets in your way, take it out of your way. Bloody kids, scared the life out of me. Anyway, so you get your 2-inch pipe. Again, you're making sure everything's kind of going to line up, hopefully. Bulk bench fits back in without disturbing anything. Excellent stuff. And now I need to get it all the way over there. Take a measurement, cut your pipe, plastic weld it together. Happy days. Couple of clips, keep everything in place. And now that's the end of that pipe. So that needs to be connected to my little dust separation unit, which is now over there. Got some of this flexible 50mm pipe as well. Again, friction fit on everything is perfectly okay with this. This stuff was very expensive for only, I think I got about 1.5 meters of it. The reason it was so expensive because it has copper wire sort of woven into it, just in case there's a build-up of static electricity, which I'm not expecting to have. So literally feed that in, connector in, and take off whatever excess you need. Now I've never been happy about those 2 sockets. They're always getting sawdust just blasted at them. So I decided I was going to separate them from the saw with a piece of wood. And after taking a few measurements, I decided I'd build a whole unit across and integrate the whole thing. So over my bulk bench, I'd have storage for all these little bins of all bits and pieces. Everything is easily reached. Right, good. So 3 pieces of 4x2. They're going to be quite a bit of weight acting down on this, so I want to make it nice and strong. I'll screw them in. Don't forget that. And sort of put a lid on it. Remember, it's just all boxes here, so you're building the base of a box. You'll build the sides next. But this is the base. It's lovely having a table saw just sitting there waiting to be used as well. Makes life very easy. So, tacker in place. Bulk bench comes out. Nothing is disturbed. Lovely. And you're taking your height here from the bins plus like 10mm. So that kind of set the height for me. And literally just worked off that. Laser line everything. Now move your laser line and that's your new level. Now taking off the sides. I'm after learning this new trick now. Hiya! I'm happy with that, I like that. So now it's just a case of piece by piece by piece, one cut at a time, building a box. So slow and steady, one cut at a time. Now that's the left hand side. I'll figure out about the top of that later on. I want to work on the other side of where the storage bins are going to be. Ow! Ah, jeekers. That's enough of fright when you're sharing a workshop with an idiot. Anyway, that's that piece in. Now, I want to have, again for strength, I'm going to take an outer recess here so I can be fitting a 2x1.5 all the way across, and it'll have strength. I don't want things moving around. Now here, I want to have access to those sockets, so I kind of marked out a space that I'll be able to reach my hand in and use those sockets if I needed to. Now you'll see some of this work is kind of futile in a while, because I unfortunately kind of changed my mind. So anyway, cut that out with a jigsaw. Yeah, might look nice. Changed my mind though. So figured out then where that back panel was going to be. Kind of wanted it to fit in nice and snug. So there you go, fitting in nice. Put a little prop in there just to hold it up in place. There you go. That's that. Got a little anchor on that side. Now for the other side, where the saw was going to be, I wanted as little air escaping as I possibly could. Now, unfortunately, the saw that I have is a really awkward shape. There's always going to be a big mouth open in it. I'd love to have a saw with where the engine block of it, the motor isn't sticking out one side of it. But anyway, look, you work with what you have. So a little bit of trial and error. I decided I was going to put in a little support across the top. Put a little shelf up there. Now this, yeah, I wanted to cut and glue that in again. Kind of makes sense at the end. So glued them in, and then put in a little support piece at the back. Right. I suppose then everything that I've done so far gets to go to black, because as I'm assembling it I like to paint black and then assemble. So once that's dry, a bit of construction glue, tap tap tap. You build it up, box by box. There's a piece of 2x1.5 on the top, again for strength. The back cover for the saw. Tack him in place. There's a little notch there taken out for the flex to go through to the back. And again, just keep on adding. Bit of black. No, that's nice. Now a little bit to finish there on the right hand side where my storage containers are going to be. So just one piece at a time, take your measurements, make your cuts, glue it, tack it, one at a time. I gotta say, I think that's looking good. Now, how would you feel about having a little bit of a cliffhanger?